Oh, what's up, everybody? Let me see if we are on live. If you are here with me, it is Set Trippin' Sundays with Trip. You know what I'm saying? We are here. You are with me. It is the One Successful Failure podcast. We are on the pod, but this is something different. This is a little more intimate. This is me, you. This is the community. This is us growing. This is you keeping up with me. At the end of every episode on the pod, if you've been with us, shout out to the ones that's been with us. Matter of fact, since we're starting this Sunday Set Tripping, and we're going to go into the topics. I know you saw them. We're going to talk about some of the few things, but this is live. This is us. We can divert. We can come back. We can just do what we want to do because it's me, it's you, it's Sunday. We Set Tripping. We are on the new set. And shout out to Michael C. He's been over here all day. And I'm going to go into, if you're not a day oneer, season oneer, whatever, I'm going to go into with you why it's the new set. You understand. And if you are a day oneer, before we get deep into this Sunday Set Tripping, drop a 1 in the chat for me. Let me know you're here, number 1. And for all my day oneers, people that's been here from season 1, day 1, episode 1, from people that know that, I got a bad attitude, my emotions are terrible, I got served, I married a cheater, all those things, all the way up into watching Shan get her car blown up, and all the way down to the new seasons 2, where we kick it off with as long as she's happy. And no, I'm not the one making her happy, obviously, if you watch season 1. But whatever, we talked to Mr. Marcus Bowers and Marcus Bowers TV. But if you're a season oneer, if you're someone that's been with us since day 1, episode 1, hey, man, drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're here. Let me know you've been rocking with us. Let me know that you are still meeting us in these goddamn comments. And that's what Sunday Set Tripping is about. And if you don't know where you landed, again, it's the One Successful Failure podcast. But this is Sunday Set Tripping. This is me. I'm Trip. This is the set. This is you. This is us. This is us growing as a community, discussing things that's probably happened in my life or your life in the past 2 weeks, a little more intimate view. I'm not going to get personal, but, I probably can't get any more personal than I got in season 1. But I got a lot of backlash for that. But, I'm going to be more relaxed, man. It's just going to be me, you. It's not going to be so many proper edits, cuts, topics, subscribes. This is going to be I pause on that. I do want you to like and subscribe, but this is not one of those like and subscribe things. If you happen to come across the live and you see the topics and it resonates with you, come on in. Come on in and join the community if you only just want to join us on Sundays. I think this is going to be like an accountability group for this community. We're going into 2025. I was with Michael C. today, and we were sitting there eating and talking, and Southern Girl was with us. Shout out to Southern Girl, my homegirl, Crystal. We were all sitting discussing, and Mike had already sent me a text early this morning with, I'm not going to go personal in the text, but it was a goal that he sent. And he was like, this is what I'm going to have, and this is when. And kind of lit a little fire up under me. I was like, fuck, I guess I'm supposed to be having these goals already. I guess I can't wait till, but I have some, and they're written down everywhere. But a big goal like that, I guess I hadn't even thought for myself or, planned for myself. So to get that type of goal, text to me early in the morning on a Sunday morning. First of all, it was motivating. And then at the same time, it was a little bit frustrating because I realized, damn, what are my goals? And I know one goal is to be consistent. One of our things, and he and I together, we make magic when we make it. When we don't make it, the magic, the spark, the fizzle, it goes out. And everything that we're doing with the pod, with you, with the community, going forward, with myself, with my rituals, with my morning routines, it's all going to take consistency and growing. I know that I could advertise, or I sound so old when I say that shit, like advertise, media and marketing. I could go on to the Facebook page, the Instagram page. Shout out to you all following us on the Facebook, Instagram page. If you're not, go click the like and follow. Physically click. Don't just like on the pictures. Like us. Let us know that you're a part of this. You're in it with us. You're growing with us. And you like what we're doing. Chat with us. Meet me in them goddamn comments. But I was thinking I'm going to go post live in 15 minutes, live in 20 minutes. Sunday Set Tripping on Sunday. Get it there, be square. That all kind of weird shit. But I thought about it. I don't want to we shouldn't have to make announcements to do things. We should just do them. And as a community, I feel like if you're here with me, if you enjoy the pod, if you're enjoying what we're doing, if you're meeting us in those goddamn comments, I think we're going to use these Sundays as not just a relaxed environment to be together, not just for me to spill the tea of what's going on in my life and the people around me on a little more like loose basis, but for us to grow. And in order to grow and hit our goals and attain our goals and check in with one another, we're going to use this as like kind of like an accountability community, something like that. And so like that text, it held me accountable for myself to see that my boy is hitting me at 7, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning with big goals and big dreams. And so it made me say, all right, I know I got these little ones, but what are the big ones that these little ones are going to lead up to? It's the same as this Sunday set trip, and that's what we're going to be doing. My big goal and ultimate goal is to have 1 million subscribers on YouTube. But right now, we're going to start small. I want to get to the 5,000 mark. Subscribers, genuine organic subscribers. Nothing more, nothing less. 5,000 mark by March. I don't think that should be something unattainable. And if you're on here and if you haven't hit the subscribe button, and by the end of this live, if you're liking the information, if you down what the fuck we got going on, subscribe, stay with us, be held accountable, be a part of the movement, do what we doing. And let us know if you're a successful failure. Let us hear about the things that's going on good in your week. I'm going to tell y'all about the shit that's going on good, the shit that's going on crazy, and, you know, the things that we're all facing. We was talking politics today. I probably won't talk that much. If you don't understand why, go back and check the first live here on the Sunday Set Trip. And I'm talking about politics. I'm talking about how when the election was over, even though maybe my person did or did not win, it was a breath of fresh air for that shit to be over. And I know a lot of you all felt that way. I was waiting on some of you to talk about it and discuss it, but it was one of those things that we could discuss now that it was over. I didn't want to be one of those typical YouTubers taking the odds and who was going to win, spitting my opinion about Kamala, saying the things that slander Trump. I don't know enough about neither one of them niggas to say nothing about neither one of them niggas. All I could say was, as a human being, as an American, as someone who probably did or did not have felonies, if you still had your right to vote, I didn't give a shit who you voted for, just vote. I talked about how that felt good for it to be over. And, you know, those are the things we're going to be doing here. So, you know, we were talking, we were discussing, and he had his goals, and it made me think about mine, and I'm doing like the compound effect. Not just with money, but what we're doing right here with the community, the compound effect, these little Sunday things. Me checking in with you, seeing what you like, what you don't like, discussing what you said in those goddamn comments, explaining something that I might have fumbled on, showing you how I ran up a bag, got the bag stolen, and ran up a bigger bag. Those are the things that's going to be here on the set on Sundays. It's just me, you, it's just a set, and it's just Trip. This is the One Successful Failure podcast, and, you know, we're just going to be doing this thing. Now, back to the topics. Let's get to it. The new set, Michael C. came over today. He hooked us up with the new set. Shout out to Michael C. Shout out to you all for jumping in on us and checking out the new set. We moved. And right now, yeah, we got the tiles up. It's a little intimate, but we're going to be trying out some things. That's life. I'm starting to learn. I used to think once we put it on the wall, Mike, today, make sure it's right, because it's got to stay like that. And I think that's why I'm in a situation I'm in with my relationship or lack thereof, because I think I tried to put things on the wall and it just stayed like that. I expect things in life just to stay. But I'm noticing that as frustrating as change is, oh my God, it's starting to be so fun. And it's starting to be amazing and unpredictable. So I say that to say, welcome to the new motherfucking solo set. This is probably what I'm going to be looking like on the Sundays when it's just me, you, and us, and the community and accountability and just gossiping, whatever. But we got a new set for the interviews. We're doing new things, and we're going to try it out. And if we don't like it, I don't want to hear you in them goddamn comments saying, we know we're going to change it if we don't like it. But if we do, we're going to try it out, leave it like that, and, you know, rock it out for a while. So the new set, the new intimacy, us here on Sundays, accountability, we're growing as a community. We're going to be leaning on one another. If there's something that you're struggling with, I promise you somebody in this community is probably struggling with it, has struggled with it, or seen someone else struggle with it. Holla at us, you know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. Let's discuss it on Sundays. Let me bring it up. Put it to me. I'll be the asshole and say it. You don't have to be the asshole to say it. Send me a private message and say, Trip, yo, I was thinking about this. Let's talk about it on Sundays. Let's discuss it. We're going to be putting together journals. We're going to be talking about journaling and New Year rituals. But right now, we haven't even gotten there. And that's what's crazy. So many people are like anxious for the new year. So many people are going through a depression right now, like the holidays and all this, and getting ready for next year, but trying to figure out how to close out this year. And I was sitting here thinking, or not really thinking, I don't think a lot about these things, but I was talking to my therapist, and yes, I got a therapist, and I don't give a shit. But I was talking to my therapist, and I was talking about some things. The holidays, I think she asked me, are you ready for the holidays? And I was like, yeah, nah. I think I'm in a funk. I'm not a Scrooge. I'm definitely not a Scrooge. You know, I love the holidays, but for other people. And she was like, well, I don't understand that. And I go back to say, you know, the holidays make me anxious. I don't know. It's all the hustle and the bustle and the this and the that and I don't know. And I've never really cared about it. Why are we going through and you know, I gave the typical black, the typical American bullshit. Why are we doing all this extra for a man-made holiday? Jesus was born in the summertime type shit. You know, I tried to say all that. And then she was like, what is it really? I mean, you've never liked Christmas or Thanksgiving and I was like, well, as a kid, you know, I didn't. It wasn't really like a great time. It used to be when my mom and dad was together. You know, me and my brother had the fairy tale Christmas thing. We looked over. We had a 2-story house, big ass house in the country. Shout out to McLeod, Oklahoma. Oh, city or no city. Okay, I'm on a tangent. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. I can get off, but whatever. We had a house, and I was very young, but we could look over the top, and the fireplace would be going, and the tree, and the Christmas, and it was like we was like the Huxtables and shit. You know, we was the few black people with money out there in a country town with white people, and we had to go to sleep in Santa and bake cookies and leave them for them. My mom and daddy did all that. But they split at a very early age. And if you don't know the rest of my story, go watch the intro. You know, go watch season 1. It turned out a little bit different. You know, if you were born in the 80s, 70s, 80s, a lot of y'all know the drug era was serious. And I don't just be talking about black people. I'm talking about white people because I lived in Oklahoma. There was white people and black people in the same situation as us. But drugs was heavy, and drugs didn't care about Christmas and Thanksgiving, lace socks and shit for Easter, you know, sparklers and all that shit for the 4th of July. So sometimes it didn't come. Sometimes it didn't happen. Sometimes we would just hope that we got the holidays over with just so that shit would be over with. So as a kid, it started out as a great time. It got a little weird. And as an adult, I just pretended like I didn't care. And then I met somebody who loved the holidays. I mean, got crazy over the holidays, would decorate the house and would want to go drive and see the lights. And, you know, and this is an adult. And like the love that they had for the holidays, that was the love that I had. And then that person went away. And I feel like those feelings went away too. And that's what I was just explaining to my therapist. And she was like, you know, that's not holiday anxiety. That's trauma, boo-boo. And as much as I want to hear her and understand her, I mean, yeah, we all have our traumas. You know, I'm not huge on those words. I feel like a lot of those words now are internet words. I told y'all, traumas and triggers and all those things. I use them now because I'm learning them. Narcissists. I'm definitely learning some of these words and that they're real and what they are, but I still try my hardest not to use them. But what's the difference? What's the difference in trauma and holiday anxiety? What's the difference? And she was like, you know, I'm going to suggest a book for you. And maybe we all read this together. And she said, it's a hard read, but maybe you should read The Body Keeps Score. And I was like, The Body Keeps Score. And if it's a hard read, why the hell would you suggest it to me? And she was like, you know, it's just one of those things that you might be dealing with. It might not be that I don't like the holidays. I might really love the holidays. Because like I said, I'm not a Scrooge. I love rapping for other people. I love the joy that other people get. I don't even really mind getting in the traffic and doing the hustle and bustle if I'm doing it for someone else. But for myself personally, to get a tree just for me or to put a Christmas list out for myself, I would rather save myself the disappointment. And I think that's where I agree and understand where she's coming from. That's where the trauma comes in. How many things in life or towards the end of the year or the beginning of the year have we said we're going to do, but we said, it's not that I don't want to do them, and it's not that I don't want it, and I really would like it, but I would rather celebrate it for somebody else because I don't want to cause myself the disappointment. A lot of us don't want to tell our loved ones, our significant others, our coworkers, our bosses, the things that we need for the holidays, the things that we need to close this year out and to open a new year. I know a lot of y'all who are spiritual and all that say that this is not a new year. This is the same old thing, and we close out years on the sun and yeah. All that shit is cool. But for majority of the programmed people, somehow December 31st, it's like the book closes, and if you didn't do the things, you have no more time to do them, and a new book opens. That's how a lot of people feel. And the anxiety of, did I do everything that I wanted to do in 2024? Is that shit real? Is it real to you? Let me know in the chat. Like, I know we all have our traumas. I know we have things that we went through as kids or maybe young adults. Some of us went through things in our later adulthood, and we're older now. But what's the difference in the trauma dodging the holidays and the holidays letting us know that, oh shit, another year is about to come to an end and I'm still single. Another year is about to come to an end, and that 15 pounds that I said I was going to lose last year, I still hadn't lost. How many of us are thinking, oh my God, 2025 is here in 3 weeks. I'm 37, 45, 23, and I still don't have kids. Everybody else. How many of us are looking at the clock like that and anxious not because the holidays are here and that we don't like them and that we're Scrooges. I think to a lot of people, if you really stop and think, which I had to stop and do and say to myself, self, what the fuck is it? And I think to me, my anxiety is that sometimes I'm afraid that I didn't accomplish all the things that I set out to accomplish in the set time that I set out to accomplish them. And I think a lot of us put that unrealistic, unnecessary pressure. The 2024, the only difference in 2024 and 2025 is an hour. It goes from midnight to 1 or 11 to midnight. It's the exact same thing. There's nothing that changes. There's nothing that flips over that is really anew like we think it is. There is nothing that automatically comes out in the world and sprays your whiteboard and wipes that shit clean. I think we do need to realize that the holidays are just a time that's almost like a break before we make ourselves hustle and bustle again. It's a break before the weather changes and the seasons change and hormones change and our body changes. But besides that, I think a lot of us don't realize that the goal and the focus, the drive, the wants, the desires, they all stay the same and they all continue. It's like Nipsey, the marathon continues. That last quarter was just a sprint around the track. But at the end of the day, the marathon continues until you finish that 26.2 miles and then it's over. Or is it? You still got to walk back to wherever or whatever where you started the marathon. My point being, we can not like the holidays. We can blame the holidays for our anxiety. We can even look at some of our past traumas. But I think what a lot of us need to realize is, I think our anxiety is coming from we haven't done enough. We didn't plan properly, which I know me personally. I got to learn to structure it better. And that's where it came with Mike sending me the goal this morning. Like, damn, he already has that goal. So if he already has that goal, then he already has a date, then he must already have a plan. And it's not that I don't have the goals. I'm learning sometimes is where some of us, all of us, fall short is the plan. And that's how the holidays creep up on you. How do they creep up on you? It's the same shit every year. The anxiety creeps up because, like, oh my God, I got to get gifts. That's because we waited all year. We didn't plan. Funniest thing is the holidays comes the exact same time. I know I got traumas around the holidays. I mean, my relationship ended right around the holidays. To be exact, the holidays just passed. And yeah, I was real tight about that. And yeah, maybe the body does keep score. And yeah, maybe I was tense because what am I supposed to be doing? Or no, I'm not supposed to be doing shit. But if the body keeps score, we should allow ourselves to allow the mind to keep score too, with a plan. How many things did we check off? How many things are we holding ourselves accountable for? What the fuck are we doing with our time? I don't know if Mike even knows that goal that he texted me, just something random, just like lit a fucking fire. Not just a fire of I need to plan better, but a fire of letting me know the holidays is just something that lets me know it's time to kick it in gear. I don't need to get anxious. I need to get excited. I don't think we need to lean on our traumas. I think we need to trust our plans, look at our goals, head down in the sand, and just get the fucking moving. I think that's where I am with it. And that's where we are with it together. And that's where, like I said, on Sundays, we can be each other's accountability group. You can get in them goddamn comments and say, okay, Trip, where y'all at? Where are you and Mike towards the goal? You know, maybe one day Mike will see him come on here, join me live, and say his own goal. But together, we're going to be working towards it. You know, if someone in my circle has a goal, then we all have a goal. It's my job as someone in their circle to hold them accountable. Hey, yo, where you at? I don't need to know like your exact steps and execution. It's not my fucking business. And I have ADHD. I can't keep up with your shit. You hear me talking about I can't even plan my own. I can't keep up with yours. But what I can keep up with is I got someone close to me in my circle. I got a friend with a goal. And I need to know where the fuck they at with it. Because when they win, I win. When he hits his goal, I hit my goal. Because whatever his goal is, it's like they say at church, Lord, if I'm on the roll, and if you could do it for them, I know you could do it for little old me. So that's what I'm saying. Why not keep your circle accountable? So I'm going to make sure he hits his. But I can't make sure he hits his if I'm not properly planning and doing what the fuck I need to do. And at the same time, if he's in my circle, he's going to be holding me accountable for mine. And we're going to be holding accountable to each other for Sundays. We're going to be set tripping. We're going to be talking, relaxing, and everything. But it's just we need to learn that as a people, you know, things we can't always be on this trauma thing. Like, at what point does it become a crutch? And I know that sounds crazy because I'm talking about someone myself who just said my therapist says I have trauma. I know. I understand that. But what I want to know is when can that shit just be gone? I was I was flipping through YouTube or some channels or something. I don't know. Whatever. Some apps. And I saw Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And I was saying to someone the other day, man, I just wish that I could there's certain things that have happened in my life right now. I just wish that I could just wipe that shit clean and start anew. But where would I start? Where would I go? It's one of those if that then. If those things hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. Yeah, certain things suck that happened. But if that sucky shit hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. And if I don't plan better to the next place, I'm going to get caught off guard again, and I won't get to the next place. And I'll be wanting to get erased from there too. But if I properly plan and do what I need to do and get past the traumas and don't use that shit as a crutch, yeah, well, had a shitty childhood. Okay, you're an adult. Great thing. I'm having problems right now with my right hand. It's teaching me to use my left. These are the things I think that we're going to do as a community and we're going to have to learn, man. Traumas are one thing. Triggers are one thing. But anxiety is real. All of it is. But when is it a crutch? And what are we doing to work past it? Now that we know that we have it, now that we know what it stems from, what the fuck are we doing to get past it? I don't know. I'm going to let you know what I'm doing to get past it. I thought about getting a tree the other day. And I was like, you know what? The best way to get over my sickness of the holidays is like join the shit. And I was like, I'm going to get a tree the other day. And I was like, this is going to be amazing. I'm moving to a new place. It's got this big ass window with a view. I was going to put the tree in the in front of the window. And I was like, but wait a minute. Either I'm going to have to get a real tree and haul that shit in here and haul it out of here, or I'm going to have to get a fake tree. And then when it's over, I'm going to have to take it down. And if anybody knows me on this live, you know that shit'll be up till March fucking with me. So I just decided, you know what? There's other ways to face fears, traumas, and anxieties, but the number one way is to be realistic. And I'm realistic saying, hey, man, a tree ain't for me. I can participate in the holidays and shake my traumas and anxieties, and I don't have to do that. So what are you doing? What are you going to do to shake your anxieties? I really want to know. This isn't one of those meet me in the goddamn comments things. I want to know because this is all new to me, you know. I'm starting anew. I'm starting fresh. The past 2 holidays, I was in a hole. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to know anybody. I probably didn't get off the couch. I was in a funk. I was in a depression. But now I'm up and I'm here and I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is a person new do on the holidays? What traditions am I supposed to start? Am I supposed to start any? I mean, I could be a black Jew right now. Do they celebrate Christmas? I could be, I'm a Christian, but I mean, do I have to be a Christian that celebrates Christmas? Is that a real deal? I mean, tell me in the comments. Let me know. What are some of the holiday if you're new, if you're going through something new in your life, a transition, a pivot, a change in a relationship, a move, a change in a job, a divorce, if you're going through a religion change, what traditions are you shaking? What traditions are you starting? What are something that you're implementing in the new holiday you that's going to help you to shake the anxieties and the fears and even the traumas that you had related with the past holidays and the past you? I need to know. Because I can be honest with you on Sunday right now. I'm fucking struggling. I don't know what to do. I don't know what not to do. This past holiday, Thanksgiving, I moved. Like, you know, I had some great friends. Shout out to my cousin. My cousin flew in town and helped me move. And I picked that time because that's when it's just convenient. That's when it happened to happen. But I also feel like it was, like, great for me because it was a distraction from the holidays. And I think now I understand why some people go and volunteer. I used to wonder why people would go volunteer on Christmas, go volunteer on Thanksgiving. And I was like, that's the dumbest shit. Like, that's a time when you should be with you. All throughout the year, you can go volunteer and you wait till the holidays. But now I understand some people need that distraction from the time. And I'm starting to think that maybe that will be my tradition. Maybe I'll go and not so much volunteer, but go get a necessary distraction. Running a fucking turkey trot or something, you know. I think that could be something great. And now I understand why people travel. Some people try to escape it for just a brief moment. For just a brief moment, I felt good to be moving, sweating, not thinking about anything. And then, you know, I house hopped for a hot second, but I was so tired from the moving that we had been doing the prior day and the moving that I knew already I had to do the next day that I cut it short. And that was great. I had an excuse and a reason to be able to cut it short. But I don't think that we should have to have an excuse or a reason to cut it short on the holidays if we're not feeling it. And I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to make up a reason, come with a lie, then have to support that story. I smoke way too much weed for that, to be trying to remember what I told somebody. And it's easier to be honest and set your boundaries and to say, hey, man, you know, maybe I did have a crazy childhood and it affected the way I saw Christmas, but I'm not going to let that affect me anymore. I don't want to do this time. I'm going to do it this way. And maybe that's what we need to do. And I think that's what I'm going to start doing. And it's just crazy because we're not taught that we have those choices. We're not taught that those are the options. It's either you do the holidays or you're a fucking Scrooge. It's either you do the holidays or something's wrong with you. It's either you celebrate Valentine's Day or you're a bitter bitch or a side bitch or a baby mama. Like, you don't really, I have to name those things because, like, they don't really have derogatory statements towards dudes. If they did, I would spit them out, but I don't know any. I mean, like, deadbeat only rides so far. But for the women, it's a hard thing. You either a side chick or, you know, a bitter bitch, or it might just be you don't like to do the pressure of whatever it is. And I'm not going to do it anymore. You can call me whatever you want to call me. You can call me a Scrooge. My nieces and nephews and the people who are close to me, they know better than that. They know what, Christmas means to them. They send out their list. They get their gifts. Nene participates, But at the same time, too, ask them what type of Nene I am throughout the entire year. My nieces and nephews can get whatever they want. The people close to me can get whatever they want. I don't have to do the anxiety of the holidays because anytime throughout the year, my people can get what they want. So I've realized that's an unnecessary stress that I don't even have to put on myself. I think some of these stressors of the holidays, we have to take accountability for. How much of this pressure are we putting on ourselves? I don't give a fuck right now who wants what gift. I don't care who I'm dating. I'm not. Let's clarify that shit right now. Hypothetically speaking, I wouldn't care who I was dating right now or whatever my situationship or job ship is or friendship is right now during the holidays. If I ain't got it, I ain't got it. What makes the holidays time a different time? If you can't come up with the rent on a regular for a place that you lay your head, you and your family or you by yourself, then how can you come up with that extra for the holidays to buy stuff for people that you wouldn't normally buy stuff throughout the entire year? That's unnecessary pressure that you're putting on yourself. I don't know. It's kind of like that, I don't know, social media thing. I don't know if people take the holidays just to be seen or just, I don't know what it is. But I can tell you, I have relieved myself of that pressure and that stress. And I think that you should too. But I'm going to start new traditions or rituals or things that I like to do with me and my friends, or maybe nothing. I might take the holidays as a much needed day of rest. I would take the holidays as a much needed day of travel, but that's one of the most hectic times to travel. I might just take the holidays, what people call the holidays, as a much needed day to unplug. I don't know, but I know I'm at a new point, and I know that me and you and anybody else, we have the opportunity to make them whatever we want to make them and shake that anxiety shit. And I'm speaking to myself because I am the one that gets anxious. I am the one that gets tight. Just be tight. Just be snappy for no reason. Like, at one point in my life, I was completely in love, but I was so tight because I was thinking, man, am I going to get this person something that they don't want, that they're not going to like? Who gives a fuck? I don't know. Are we going out of town? Are we not going out of town? Am I going to be? What's the weather? Why do we care? And on a regular basis, you don't think like that. Don't allow November, December, January resolutions. Don't allow those things to put unnecessary pressure on you. Put pressure on yourself with goals. Check-in dates, a good circle. Desires, beliefs, and boundaries. Those are the things that should put a healthy pressure on us. Those are the things I'm going to allow to put a healthy pressure on me from here on out. Other than that, I'm not really going to give two shits about anything else that's holidays, man-made. It's I did that for too long. And where did it get me? Right here on the set, Sunday Set Tripping with y'all on the One Success or Failure podcast. And not that that's a bad place to be, because if I wouldn't have been there, I would have never gotten here. And I got to get here in order to get to my next destination, my next goal. And we all are doing the same thing. I told y'all going to hold me accountable for these millions, for these sponsorships, for these deals, and for this release. I think some of the things that I do, this podcast, is dreams I've had as a kid, It's to just be able to just be heard, to be able to be seen as someone that has some type of thought, some type of value, some type of opinion that's worth hearing. And I think that's the goal. And so I just want to be held accountable. I just want to grow in that. And I had to go from there to here in order to do that. And so that's what we're doing. Cool. Whatever. Now, last but not least on this Sunday, first of all, second of all, I know I told you if you was here at the beginning to drop the 1 in the chat. If you were the day oneers, been here since season 1, seen all of season 1, binge watched season 1, you people. But right now I need you to drop a 2. For my people who are just tuning into us, that maybe caught us at season 2, that knows that the number 2 is my favorite number, I want you to, matter of fact, I don't want you to drop a 2. I want you to hit us with a heart in the chat. I do that because I want to see how many people are actually participating with us, that are loving what we're doing, that just caught us, but you're loving what we're putting out. And that's why you've been sticking with us. The season oneers, I know why you're sticking with us. Because you're faithful failures, you're future failures. You want to see how to grow, how to succeed, how to fail, and how to be vulnerable in the shit. You are my people. You are my day ones, the same as I'm your day one. But my day tours, my newers, drop a heart in the chat. And I like to see who's participating. And then also, like, weeks from now or months from now, when somebody else comes in and checks out this, and when it's not so live, they'll be looking in the chat and be like, "What's all those hearts? What? Brown hands and white hands and red hands. What is all that?" And they'll watch through and they'll know why we're dropping that heart, dropping that love, dropping some love. If you're loving what we're doing, like we're doing, hit the like, the comment, subscribe button. Last but not least, on this Sunday, Set Tripping. I think I dropped it a couple of times. I said the word boundaries. And if you looked in the title, it's what the fuck is a boundary? And I said that because, again, this week, it's been a hectic week. I've had to go deep with my therapist. I've had to go deep with my friends, and I was discussing boundaries. And my therapist was saying this is time more than any time to enforce your boundaries, to, you don't have to explain them. You set them there. You let people know that they're there, and you let people know the repercussions of. But I know maybe a couple of years ago, and this may be how I know therapy is working a little bit. My therapist, I had just started, and she thought I was further along than I should be. And she kept saying, you got to tell people your boundaries. And you crossing your own boundaries. You got shaky boundaries. And for like months, she kept throwing out this word, boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. And it's crazy. Because at the time, I know I was over 40. I can't tell you how old exactly I was when I started therapy, but I can tell you I was over 40. And up until that time that the therapist was saying to me, set your boundaries, enforce your boundaries, don't shake your own boundaries. You got shaky boundaries. Your boundaries suck. When I was hearing all those things, I just started thinking, what the fuck is a boundary? What the fuck is this is how I know I'm growing. Because now I'm telling you that we're enforcing boundaries, we're setting boundaries, we're going to be setting them on ourselves. Our boundaries are something not to be violated. We're going to be firm on them, but we're going to be laxed with not making a boundary. I'm sitting here discussing our plan of attack with our boundaries, but just a few years ago, at the age of 40 plus, I'm asking, what the fuck is a boundary? And I was embarrassed. And I'm saying that now because if I was 40 something and I didn't know, then I'm pretty sure there's someone here today. There was one of my homies that didn't know. I think it's one of those things that people think you should just know growing up. Maybe black people think that just because we don't go to therapy, we shouldn't know what a boundary is. I think it's something that's never taught. I was an athlete. The only boundaries I knew was like in volleyball or basketball. You had a court, you had these lines. And if you got outside of them, the other team got the ball. Or if you got outside of them, it was a penalty. And now that I'm explaining it to you in sports, it's like, how could I not know what a boundary is? But I had to break it down that way to myself. Like sports, like, what is a boundary? I don't know. Boundaries are just lines you don't cross. Oh, shit. Boundaries are lines you don't cross. Okay, well, no, that's different. Boundaries in sports are like if something happens, then if you go outside of here, then there's a penalty. Oh, shit, in life, I guess we should be enforcing penalties when I was today years old a couple of years ago when I learned what the fuck is a boundary. And I thought I would bring that up because I was talking to people, and right now I'm 46, and I'm still discussing with folks who have shaky boundaries, who let people just disrespect and violate their boundaries all the time. And people say, oh, you're a people pleaser. People used to tell me I was a people pleaser. People used to tell me, oh, you just want to be liked. You're scared to lose people. All of those things are true. Don't get it twisted. But those weren't the reasons why I was allowing people to violate my boundaries. It was because I was never taught what a boundary was. I was never taught how to enforce them. I was never taught that there was a if, that, then. If you do this, then I'll do that. I always thought that was just a terrible thing called an ultimatum. I don't think we're taught as a group, I know I wasn't, what a boundary is. I can tell you when I was young, I used to be with my grandmother, my Port Arthur grandmother, Betty Jean, my dark-skinned grandmother. And don't know, this ain't colorism. Y'all niggas know that there's a difference in light skin and dark skin, and I got a light skinned grandmother and I got a darker skinned grandmother. Betty Jean, I love them both the same, but I love my dark skinned grandmother like my dark skinned grandmother. She called me today, and I love my light skinned grandmother like my light skinned grandmother. They from two different places in the world. They have two different demeanors. Both sides of the family are totally different. I get both crazy traits mixed in me, but they're two different people. I used to go in the summertime with my dark-skinned grandmother. She's from Port Arthur, Louisiana, Beaumont. And a lot of things was different down there. And her and my light-skinned grandmother are right around the same age. One is 92, one is 84, 85. It's a blessing to have them both like that age. I mean, both great in the mind and everything. And my dark-skinned grandmother used to take us somewhere to the family reunions, and she used to give us those speeches. I don't know a lot of y'all, I had my nephew last night, and we were going into a store. And before we went in the store, he's only 4. And I know things are different, but before we went in the store, I had to kind of jack him up. And I was like, listen, we finna go in the store, and don't you fucking embarrass me. Don't be grabbing shit. We finna go in here and shop. I don't know what we getting. You stick close to Nene. Don't make me have to look for you. Don't make me have to find you, nickel. I did all that to a 4-year-old because that's what used to happen to me before we went in the store. And guess what? I was never caught stealing. You ain't never seen me throw no temper tantrum in the store because the boundary, which I didn't know that's what it was laid down before we went into that store. So I laid it down. This is how I grew up. I also grew up with my dark-skinned grandmother taking us to the family reunions, and she would stop us outside and be like, all right, she'd tell my brother, you can go ahead and go in, go see your cousins and all that, go kiss everybody, say hello, let them know that I'll be in a hot second. And she would stop outside with me because I was a girl. And she was, I am a girl. I was a little girl at the time. And she would say, okay, we about to go in here, go say hello to everybody, go say hello to all your aunties and your uncles and them, but don't kiss no man in his face. Don't be up in no man's face. Don't be on no man's lap. And I was like, but grandmommy, these are my uncles. These are my, and she was a Christian woman. She didn't cuss, but basically she didn't give a shit. I don't care if it's your uncle, Nene them uncle, your neighbor. I don't care if it's Pookie them. I don't care if it's Rufus's son. I don't care who it is. If it's a man, if it's a boy, you don't be up in no man's face. You don't be kissing. I don't let the men kiss all on you. Don't let no man in your ear, and don't be sitting on none of them's lap. See, I never knew that those were like boundaries. I thought that was just some shit that you just didn't do. And I think that if my therapist would break down, or I think that us as people, that's where I'm going with this. I think that as us as people would learn that boundaries are really just some shit that you don't do and take the big technical thing up out of it. I think a lot of us would have a lot better time understanding it, not crossing it, enforcing it, and respecting it. I'm going with that because this is Sunday. I'm letting you know on the set from here on out, I'm laying down some boundaries. But I'm not going to be like a therapist and say, well, you should explain them. You should write them down. Nah, from here on out, going into 2025, this is some things that I'm going to do to relieve my anxiety. And what I am going to say from here on out, I'm not going to let people slide on the disrespect. I'm not going to write down a boundary or like a note and give it to you. No, we all know we're adults. We all know that there's just some shit that you shouldn't do. And I'm letting you know right now, that's all that a boundary is. A boundary is enforcing to people some shit that you shouldn't do. From here on out, I'm not going to enforce or explain to someone at the beginning that I have a boundary. Please don't cheat on me. Nah, nigga, you know that's just some shit that you shouldn't do. I'm not going to enforce from here on out to somebody, oh, you called me, you asked me for some money, and when I gave it to you, the boundary is not, well, if you don't give it back, I'm not. No, the boundary is, nah, that's some shit you shouldn't do. If you ain't going to pay it back, don't ask for it, because however I respond, I don't want to hear that gaslighting like, oh, you did you? Nah. Woo! See, I'm allergic to the bullshit. But anyway, that's what a boundary is. And I'm learning really now through therapy and through, it's just some shit that people should know that they just shouldn't do. Don't play with me. What's the song by Toby? Try Jesus. Not me. Because I throw hands. And that's part of the boundaries. From here on out, we're going to set these boundaries. We're going to tell people, hey, listen, in my life, there's just some shit that you should not do. If you don't know what a boundary is, that's the hood definition. We are starting 2025 off. I want you to make a list of your goals. I want you to make a list of dreams. I want you to make a list of desires. And I want you to make a list of boundaries for 2025, aka shit that motherfuckers just ain't gonna do with you in 2025. And I want you to let everybody know. And feel free to put it on your Instagram. Hey, the same as you posting up on January 1, I'm looking to lose 25 pounds. You also put up, I'm looking to get a man that's going to get his ass whooped if he plays with me again. New relationships want it. I think we should state them. I think we should let people know there are some things that you just not about to do with me. Don't be up in no man's face. Don't let no man up off in your ear, and don't be on no man's lap. That's what my grandmother told me. She showed me what a boundary is. I think I should fire my goddamn therapist and hire my grandmother, because those are the lessons that I can learn. And those are the things that make me understand and know what the fuck a boundary is. Not only how to respect it, but how to enforce it. This is Sunday Set Tripping, man. It was just these were a few things that was on my heart and on the new set. Check us out, man. This is the One Successful Failure podcast. I'm telling you, we're just going to be relaxed on Sundays. I'm going to be setting goals. We're going to be growing as a community. We're going to be answering questions. And where are the questions coming from? They're coming from when you meet us in them goddamn comments, man. Hit the like. Hit the subscribe. Grow with us. I told you. Hold me accountable. 5,000 subscribers by March. We're going to say mid-March. March 15th. Mark the goal. If you're on this live right now, put it in the chat. March 15th, 5,000. March 15th, 5,000. Share this with a friend. If you're getting value from the podcast or regular episodes, hey, man, tune in. Hit the subscribe so you know when new heat drops. I'm not soliciting because we want brand deals. I'm soliciting because I want the community to grow. I'm soliciting because I want my accountability and my consistency to grow. And the way it grows is by me being held accountable by more and more people. I don't mind being held accountable. I'm a team player. I like for people to call me on my shit. And the way that you do that is you call me in them goddamn comments, and I'm going to be there. Meet us on the Sunday Set Tripping, man. Let's just discuss our goals, our dreams. Let's discuss where we're going. 2025 is coming whether we like it or not. What are we doing to get prepared? Tomorrow's Monday. It's like the second Monday of December. This is what I want you to do. For everybody that's on this live, I want you to text. No descriptions, like don't send a disclaimer text. Don't text your best friend. I want you to text your best friend, your business partner, your accountability partner, somebody that you feel good enough to share your goals and dreams with, that you know that they're going to be excited for you, that you know they're not going to be a Debbie fucking Downer, that you know they're going to somewhat hold you accountable. I want you to think of a goal that you have that you want to attain by May. And I want you to wake up tomorrow morning, whatever time you get up, hopefully early. Hopefully you're going to get up early and be getting towards and getting after this goal. And I want you to text that friend, that associate, that accountability partner, that bestie, that business partner. I want you to text them that goal and say, nigga, this is me by May 1st. All me. You can come if you want to, but this is all me by May 1st. I want you to sit and ponder and think about that goal, because I'm doing it too. Because when Michael C. sent me that, I was like, oh, shit. Am I a loser for not having my own? Yes, I am. But I'm not going to lose this competition. And it's not a competition. It is motivation. So what I want you to do Monday morning, tomorrow's Monday morning. You know that because today is Sunday Set Tripping. Tomorrow, Monday morning, text your bestie, your business partner, your accountability partner, your wife, your husband, your side piece. I don't care who you text. The person that you feel vulnerable and you feel like will hold you accountable, text them that goal that you have to accomplish between now and May 1st. It could be a thing. It could be a fitness goal. It could be a personal religious goal. You could want to get baptized. That's something I just did recently. It could be a relationship goal. It could be you want to stop a habit. You want to stop smoking weed or something by whatever time. Whatever it is that's on your heart to use these holidays as fuel to push you through to the next year. Text your accountability partner. You can drop it to me in the chat. Send me a DM. ThatDamn Trip on all social media. The One Successful Failure on all social media. Shoot me a DM. Say, hey, man, this is my private goal. I feel confident with you. If you don't feel nothing else, you should know I'm not going to slam it, because shit, you can look at my episodes and talk bad about me. So you should know I'm not going to talk bad about you. If you want to send me your goals, if you want help my opinion or anything like that, DM me if you don't have a bestie or something. Send me your goals. Send me what you're working on. I might even drop a little bit of mine. I doubt it because my shit ain't even together yet. It's the One Successful Failure podcast, yo. Y'all are on the Sunday set trip. Thank you for tuning in live, man. If you got some value, hit the like, hit the subscribe, man. Tell a friend, be a friend. Come back and grow with the community, man. We are out this thing. Peace. Meet me in them goddamn comments. Y'all see I'm here.